The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
5 years. The mother of baby James Chiles was sentenced today in relation to her child's disappearance. The charge connected to information she provided to Child Protective Service workers.
But prosecutors are not done seeking justice in this case. Chiles is now facing indictments for 3 more charges. The remains of baby James were found under a mobile home months after his disappearance in early 2021. Alicia Barrera with our top story.
I didn't like the idea of her being charged with 5 years. I don't think 5 years is enough.
Delaney Chiles' sentencing today is in connection to the plea deal made back in May for her statements to CPS workers the day after she was arrested.
She pled to count 2 of the indictment, which simply involves not giving less than truthful answers to a CPS officer. That's it. Not the police, not the FBI.
However, according to Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez, the fight for justice for baby Chiles is far from over.
This morning, a grand jury returned a multi-count indictment for serious bodily injury, and so we have every intention of going forward.
Delaney was indicted for 3 counts for serious bodily injury and, if convicted, could face up to life in prison.
That one alleges that she committed it intentionally and knowingly. The second count is causing a serious bodily injury by omission. And the third count is causing the serious bodily injury by the use of a deadly weapon that is unknown.
At the beginning there, we heard from the family of baby James. They say they're not satisfied with today's 5-year sentence. However, this new indictment gives them hope for progress towards justice. And the district attorney says that it could take several months, maybe even until the beginning of next year for this new trial, for this case to go to trial. Delaney is expected to remain at Bexar County Jail until then. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
We will keep following it. Thank you, Alicia. Happening now, the Uvalde CISD School Board is hosting an open forum meeting with the community. This is a chance for people to ask questions of board members.
Our Lee Waldman at the high school auditorium where this meeting is taking place. It is the first meeting since the district announced staffing changes.
The most notable change in staffing centers around Mandy Gutierrez, the now former principal of Robb Elementary. Moving forward, she'll be the assistant director of special education for the district. A previous open forum meeting wasn't as much concerned about Gutierrez's employment as they were about District Police Chief Pete Arredondo's employment. At this point, we know a second meeting between the district, Arredondo, and his lawyer has been delayed because of scheduling conflicts. His potential termination is the topic of discussion there. It's something we are anticipating hearing about today, and that was brought up just a week ago by a group protesting outside of the district's administrative office.
I want to know when Pete Arredondo is actually going to be terminated. The other police officers that were there as well, they were there. Are they going to be, reprimanded or anything? We don't see anybody else on administrative leave.
Community members have also continually brought up their doubts the district will have adequate security changes in place for the first day of school on September 6th. We'll bring you the full wrap of tonight's meeting on the Night Beat. And Uvalde, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. Now, many school districts here at home and across the country scrambling to fill teacher positions with class starting this month. Some this week. Northside ISD held its annual New Teacher Academy today at Brandeis High School. Hundreds of first-year elementary teachers were in attendance, but the district, like many others, dealing with a teacher shortage. Northside currently has 260 job openings for positions across 120 campuses.
It's also not specific to all of our campuses. Some of our campuses have a few more vacancies than others, and those are the ones we're kind of targeting and working together to make sure we have a plan for day one.
Muir said the district might have to add more kids to classrooms and get creative with scheduling. As Northeast ISD told us today, it has 180 teacher vacancies and SAISD has 80 across its campuses.
One local school program hoping to provide support and a safe learning environment for refugees. It is called the Newcomer Program. It's in Northeast ISD. It offers one-on-one support from teachers and helps families from across the world who are now in San Antonio get access to different resources. Back in 2003, Northeast ISD was the first local district to have students from across the world step in their classrooms. From that, NEISD created the Newcomer Program for refugees.
a classroom and a setting to be able to allow our students to be able to have access to learning about the culture, learning about school systems, learning the language, while holding high expectations in regards to the academics and being able to be as successful as we know they can.
The program offers interpreters for the students and their families to get the help they need, all the way to social emotional support and transportation.
He hasn't been exonerated, but he's back on the job. Tonight, we're learning a Bexar County juvenile detention officer back at work while he awaits his hearing on felony choking charges. Chief Probation Officer Jill Mata confirmed this man, 28-year-old Joshua Ortiz, has returned from administrative leave and moved to their Crier Juvenile Detention Treatment Center. Ortiz was arrested last month on a choking charge as well as family violence. Mata says there are, quote, protections in place, end quote, that will keep people safe in the workplace around Ortiz.
A man in a wheelchair was in the hospital after being hit by an SUV. This happened on the city's west side, happened overnight near Buena Vista and Navidad Street. Police say the man was in the wheelchair in the middle of the street when an SUV hit him. The man landed on the front of the SUV before then hitting the ground. He was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The driver of the SUV did stop and call for help, and police say that person will not be facing any charges.
The cause of a fire at a West Side convenience store under investigation tonight. That fire started around 7 this morning at the North Star grocery store in the 8100 block of Westshire Drive. Firefighters arrived, heavy smoke coming out of the store. A second alarm called due to burglar bars on the doors and windows. That made it hard to get in, but once they were inside, firefighters had no trouble putting out the fire.
Once we were able to safely get into the building, they did eventually find a very small fire in a wall, and it was extinguished quickly.
Okay.
Right now, the cause of that fire is unknown. No one was inside. No injuries were reported. Check out traffic on this Monday. We go to I-35 and Rittiman. Look at that.
Take a
they
look
got some
at that.
rain on the roadways out there. Lucky.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sight to see that rain. And you look at our live cam here. This is one near the airport. We're looking west on 410 toward 281, and actually some rain on the camera casing and the camera lens for a change, and of course off in the distance. And actually, this is what you're looking at, this downpour right here. 410 and 281, 410 and Wetmore. This is roughly where our camera is located. So we're looking off to the west, and there's that shower moving westward, about to cross 281. Stretches all the way down through Alamo Heights into Terrell Hills, Monte Vista, right along McCullough especially, getting a good soaking downpour. This is west of 281 and basically between 281 and I-10 here. Oh, it's good to see these downpours. Yes, they're isolated and they're brief, but better than nothing, that's for sure. And even around Kirby, along 410 on the far east side, just north of 1604 there, north of I-10, I should say. That's where we have some areas of rain. So where 410 and 35 come together, you know, just south of Windcrest area, we have some heavy downpours. I'm going to put these into motion so you get an idea of just how short-lived they are. They pop up and then they start to dissipate. Now, if you get a little bit of lightning and thunder, then it's going to last a little bit longer than these typically do in this kind of a situation. But it's absolutely better than nothing. And everything we showed you at 5 o'clock on the south and southeast side of town, that has come to an end. Now it's mostly in parts of central San Antonio, stretching to the north side, and parts of Gonzales County. We'll talk about actual accumulations and when and why we have better rain chances later this week coming up.
Good to see all that rain out there instead of the triple digits. Well, as the state's foster care system changes, so do the roles of our local organizations. The state has privatized the foster care system, still continuing to do investigations, but leaving placement and casework for foster care to private organizations. Formerly St. Jude's Ranch for Children, or now SJRC, is one of those main organizations taking over that role. Courtney Friedman explains how their role has changed drastically over the last year.
For 40 years, SJRC was mainly a large residential foster care campus. While the campus still remains, a lot has changed in a year since they secured a contract to oversee placement and eventually casework for 27 counties surrounding Bexar County.
We are growing as a staff. We last year at this time had about 75 staff. Now we're up to about 150 staff, growing toward 300 staff.
Executive Director Tara Rousset says SJRC was caring for around 200 children a year, and now under their new division called Belong, belong, that number's around 1,200.
So when a child is removed from their home in the foster care system, then they come to us and we provide placement. Now, as we're working into stage 2, which will launch in this October of 2022, that's going to be full case management.
A big shift is visible here at the residential shelter, where there are fewer teens living here, but that doesn't mean there's less of a need. They just want more kids moving straight in with foster families.
There is a need for residential beds, but it's serving kids at that higher level. Those younger kids, toddlers, babies, larger sibling groups really need to be in the community in homes.
It's called community-based care, and the key word there is community.
We can't do it alone, though. We need our providers, we need our churches, we need families to open their heart and their homes for teenagers, for kids that have had a rough go at life.
To ensure those kids get the happy lives they deserve. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
To be clear, there are kids waiting for a home. To learn more about becoming a foster parent or even just helping the foster community, you can head to sjrcbelong.org.
With the new school year just about here, school safety is a huge concern, especially after what the Uvalde community has been going through in the wake of the tragedy at Robb Elementary. There has not been a special legislative session called after that shooting, despite repeated urging from those in Uvalde. But after a different school shooting, the one at Santa Fe High School in 2018, lawmakers passed a long list of legislation intended to make schools safer.
Why do you think we are here? Why do you think we continue to have these problems with shootings and episodes at our school? What's the underlying fundamental problem here?
So clearly, the underlying problem here is a behavioral one.
Coming up in our next half hour, what was in those school safety laws passed 3 years ago? What were they supposed to accomplish? It's all in a new KSAT Explains at 6:30.
Happening in less than an hour, the United States Army will be conducting training exercises in and near downtown San Antonio. The training will last from 7 until 1 in the morning. Officials say people may hear low-flying helicopters, simulated gunfire, and controlled explosions. San Antonio police say there are safety precautions in place to protect residents. You can find more details on KSAT.com.
Coming up, got any issues with your home? A new city program aims to help people fix those problems. How to apply and what's covered in home rehab program. Next.
Welcome back. I'm Stefania Jimenez, and here's what we're working on for you tonight on the Night Beat. So you just heard about those military training exercises near downtown. Mayor Ron Nirenberg sent out that tweet about it, and now we're getting new details about those plans and also what's being done to prepare neighbors. Also, we have team coverage tonight on school security, the price tag for protecting students, the new products that are hitting the market, and how they aim to offer schools an extra layer of protection. Also, several local districts start classes this week. What students and staff say their priorities are heading into the new school year. See you for these stories and more tonight on the Night Beat.
Thank you, Stefania. A leaky roof, a shaky foundation, or a substantial rehab project. If your house has some of those issues, you might be able to get help from the city.
The city has opened up the application window for its home rehab programs, partially funded with the new housing bond that voters approved. Garrett Berger tells us what you need to know.
It's moving and it doesn't close right.
An uneven foundation has cracks showing up throughout Liliana Rodriguez's home. She plans to submit an application to the city for help to fix it.
He will change everything because the kids, they're going to be safe in the house.
One council district over, Mercedes San Miguel heartily recommends the program, pointing to her home as an example of what it can do.
They did a makeover completely for me and my husband and my family members.
That included sewage lines, an AC system, foundation work, electrical updates, reframing, a water heater, new cabinets, and new flooring.
It was just a cement with cracks.
The city has several repair and rehab programs, but just one application. So whether it's few windows, a new roof, or a complete overhaul, you submit the same thing. Part of the city's affordable housing plan focuses on preserving existing units.
Spending money on our owner-occupied rehab and minor repair programs helps us preserve the affordable homes that people are in right now.
Applications are being accepted online through September 19th. There are eligibility requirements, like earning below certain income thresholds. We have more information on our website, KSAT.com. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, we got some rain to talk about out there. And is it really in the 70s right now?
Well, temperatures are changing quickly in some locations because of the rain-cooled air. So yes,
we're getting rain at the studio.
We're getting rain in the studio. Yeah, so downtown we're getting some rainfall. And you look at the current radar activity, a lot of it is dissipated far south and southwest of San Antonio along I-35, and even along the coastal plain, a lot of it has really fallen apart as well. Get into southern Gonzales County here, approaching basically Nixon, Smiley, Stockdale area. We've got some heavy rainfall, still quite a ways away from Stockdale, but this is heading westward. I'd be surprised if it really survives its trek into Stockdale. Nonetheless, it does have some of the lightning and thunder. This is one of the stronger ones that we have, and it should hold together a little bit longer than some of the other more brief downpours that we've been seeing. But that's some good heavy rain right along 87 there heading westward. It's nice to see this. I know not everybody's getting hit, but those of us that are, it's a good soaking of brief heavy rainfall. Elsewhere along I-10, just some spotty hit or miss between I-10 and I-37 or I-35 north of San Antonio. Even New Braunfels now, a downpour just popped up right near the radar site. We have some outflow boundaries up there that could kickstart a few extra showers. You get into Comal County, and over the past few hours we've had some isolated activity in Comal County. Now southern Kendall County, a little bit of development here near Bergheim, right along 46. Cordillera Ranch area, and this is heading westward toward I-10. It looks like most of that's going to miss the city of Bernie, unfortunately, but if you're lucky, we'll see some development a little bit farther south. Speaking of farther south into Fair Oaks Ranch, we have a little passing brief downpour. Not dropping a whole lot of rain, but it's better than nothing, and it's kind of that psychological boost that we all need with the extreme drought conditions we're in. So let's focus on what we were talking about earlier. Basically downtown, all the way up to 410. Good heavy rainfall in some parts of that area, and even stretching up near UTSA along I-10. But we're going to go into downtown and take a look at this heavy rainfall. Alamo Heights, even I-10 now. All of I-10 from downtown up to 410 to Crossroads. Areas of moderate to heavy rainfall. As for our actual accumulations, we can take a look at the radar estimates here. And it's going to be very different for everybody. But you look at some of the estimates, and they're still coming in because it's raining in these locations. Nonetheless, you get in a little bit tighter here. Let's go into Monte Vista area between 281 and I-10. Okay, this is just west of 281. And you see little pockets of 1/4 to 3/10 of an inch of rain. Hey, better than nothing, right? Nothing exactly all that impressive in terms of drought denting or drought busting, but good for the lawn and garden. And a little bit more here near Seguin Road in Kirby, 1/2 inch. This is west of Foster Road, 1/2 inch estimated by Doppler radar there. Okay, that's farther on the east side of town. And you get the big picture and you look across our area. Everywhere you see a blue to green on the map, that's where we had some rainfall today. So that's how much fell. Here's the big picture, and this explains what's to come and why we have some better rain chances later this week. Disturbance in the upper level flow over Arkansas and another one near Florida. They're going to be merging together over South Texas to help kickstart, I think, a little better coverage in terms of rainfall by Thursday and Friday. So we boosted it up to 30% Thursday and Friday, maybe even a little bit higher. There's a possibility we could see that, and then rain chances fall off again into the weekend. An updated high today, 99, and the rain here at Crossroads. Average high, by the way, 97. And you look at some of the rain-cooled air out there, temperatures have taken a hit in some locations, down to 92 in Bulverde, Stinson 91, still reading 93 at the International Airport, but that's changing rapidly. 78 in the morning tomorrow, 90 at noon, 99 the high temperature, another 10% chance tomorrow afternoon. Then we see those slightly better chances with, I think, better coverage of rain Thursday and Friday. Not everybody's going to get it, but those who do should have a quick, heavy downpour.
But there are chances. Thank you, Adam.
Where have you gone, Rafael Septian, Efren Herrera, Chris Boniol? The Cowboys need a kicker.
Oh, they sure do, because it's the worst I've seen it in a long time. And I mean, I'm not talking about from, 45 yards or 50. I'm talking about just from 35.
Chip shots.
Easy. Yeah. Not happening. When we come back, we'll let you know more about the Cowboy kicking struggles and who's actually the #1 kicker in camp right now. May surprise you. And Frank Harris leading the Roadrunners on and off the field. Coming up.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
There is no question what is the biggest problem in the Cowboys training camp in California. That is their kicking game, or lack thereof. Former Texas Tech Red Raider Jonathan Garibay has been struggling since reporting to Oxnard. The undrafted free agent had a chance to be the hero in workouts the other day. Even had Dak pumping up the crowd, but failed to put the 39-yard attempt between the uprights. That means at this point, Lirim Haralahu is a Cowboys starting kicker by default. But even if he fails, he has a very good backup plan.
I have three. I have an MBA and I have a master's in sports management. I have my MBA in finance and I have an undergrad in sports management.
So if this whole football kicking thing doesn't work out, Lirim Haralahu has something to fall back on. 3 degrees, 1 undergraduate and 2 masters. And did we mention he's also written a book?
I actually wrote the first kicking book. So if a high school coach were to pick up a book, they can look at it technically. This is what the kicker should be doing. These are the drill they should be doing. So I created that. And then part of me is I wanted to learn more about the mental. Because in this league, it's look at all the kickers around the NFL. Every one of them is going to be within 4 or 5 yards. Justin Tucker's going to be 66. Someone will be at 61, 60, right? But it's a matter of who's going to be able to put it between the ears and be focused on that.
And Lirim says it's because of his father, who was a professor, he took school so seriously.
I don't care how good you are at sports. If you don't have your grades up, you're not doing anything. So that's always been school first and then sports second.
Born in war-torn Kosovo, his family fled to Canada when he was 9, and Lirim used his education and research to actually help himself as a kicker, which is not only about his leg strength, it's also about concentration and mechanics.
Throughout my time, I always wanted to learn more about my mental and be able to control what I should be thinking about, and just over time I've been able to study it. And so I come out here at nighttime. I'll do my visualization on the field, but before practice I'll try to do it in our room. And we've had it with both, I've talked to both our special teams coaches, where they give me a long time before practice.
Haralahu and former Texas Tech kicker Jonathan Garibay have struggled early in camp. That's why head coach Mike McCarthy decided to give both more reps as part of his mojo moments.
When it comes to a mojo moment, it just include in the situational. Right, so I want to be able to be one of the best guys in situational works, and we're getting plenty of opportunity. So when it comes to that, the routine is the same, mechanics is the same, and then just trying to make sure I'm doing the same kick every time.
All right, the UTSA Roadrunners are now less than a month away from kicking out their season on Saturday, September the 3rd in the Alamo Dome against Houston. UTSA is thrilled to have Frank Harris under center once again. Harris is a multiple preseason award watch list after a breakout year in 2021. How is the former Clemens quarterback approaching his role as a team leader this year?
Still the same thing, be a man of integrity, lead by example. Everything I say I have to do myself. And just hold everybody accountable as well as they hold me accountable, and just blessed to be the quarterback for this team.
He holds himself differently, and he's not perfect. Nobody is, so I don't want anybody to say that, because he's not. But he's just different. He's very mature. He's an old soul.
All right, we are now inside of 3 weeks and counting down for the KSAT Pigskin Classic 2022, presented by your San Antonio area Chevy dealers. 3 games, 1 day, August 27, inside the Alamo Dome, starting at 11:30 in the morning. You can purchase tickets at Las Palapas locations. All of them will be live tomorrow at the 281 and 1604 location to get you all fired up and ready to go, because we're counting it down right now.
Let's do it.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm ready. Yeah. Thank you, Greg.
Still to come here at 6:30, what was in a long list of laws passed on Texas school safety after yet another school shooting? KSAT Explains is up next. It is time for back to school, but even among the excitement of this time of year, if you're also worried about your child's safety, you are far from alone.
Yeah, far from it. No matter the district or the age of your students, school safety a huge concern in the wake of the horrific shooting in Uvalde. In recent years, the Texas legislature passed laws to address school safety and mental health concerns among students. It happened after yet another school shooting in the state.
That time it was at Santa Fe High School outside of Houston. In today's KSAT Explains, we break down those pieces of legislation and what they were intended to do.
On May 18, 2018, a teenage gunman shot 12 people at Santa Fe High School. 10 of those victims died. Just over a year later, on June 6, 2019, Governor Greg Abbott signed into law several bills aimed at making Texas schools safer.
Laws that will do more than Texas has ever done
to make our schools safer places.
The legislation focuses on a handful of areas: adding funding, increasing training, adding mental health resources, and creating councils and committees that are supposed to make sure the new requirements are followed. First up is Senate Bill 11.
It created the school safety allotment. It sets aside $50 million a year.
Now, the way this allotment works is actually extremely simple. They appropriate that amount of money, and then you divide that amount of money by the amount of students in the state. So it's what's considered a per pupil, a per student allotment.
Josh Sanderson is deputy director of the Equity Center, a nonprofit that works with more than 600 school districts on finances. He says that allotment created by SB 11 amounts to $9.72 per student for school safety each year.
So you've got some very large districts that have a lot of children, a lot of students, that can generate a pretty significant amount of revenue, but those districts are few and far between. If you look at the vast majority of the districts in the state, they're getting an absolute pittance compared to what they're actually having to spend on school safety.
Senate Bill 11 went beyond creating the school safety allotment. We'll get into that in a moment. But when it comes to what schools spend on safety, other bills out of the 2019 legislature addressed that too. There was Senate Bill 500. It provided a grant for schools to amp up their safety measures. It set aside $100 million for Texas schools to apply for in 2019 and 2020.
And that was designed essentially to help schools go in and retrofit their facilities, doors, locks, vegetable entrances and exits, vegetables, and that type of thing. That was a one-time grant, though, so remember, it doesn't happen year over year.
SB 500 also gave $11 million to Santa Fe High School. All of that money was pulled from the state's rainy day fund. Hiring and training officers for schools was also top of mind for lawmakers. House Bill 1387 removed the limit of school marshals on campuses. A school marshal is a school employee with a concealed handgun license. They're appointed by the school board and undergo training. House Bill 2195 required school districts to have an active shooter emergency plan and for school officers to undergo active shooter response training. Senate Bill 1707 clarifies the duties of an on-campus officer. Those duties are not to include routine discipline enforcement. House Bill 496 required bleeding kits on campus and for students and staff to be trained on how to use them.
3 bills that legislative session also focused on students who are considered a possible threat. Harassment was added to the list of reasons that a student could be expelled. Students suspended for making terroristic threats must have equal access to schoolwork, and if they're able to transition from an alternative school back to a regular campus, that must be done in 5 days. And schools are required to do regular reviews of that student's grades and behavior. Mental health was also a big focus for lawmakers after the Santa Fe shooting. So let's go back to Senate Bill 11.
Why do you think we are here? Why do you think we continue to have these problems with shootings and episodes at our school? What's the underlying fundamental problem here?
So clearly, the underlying problem here is a behavioral one.
SB 11 created the Child Mental Health Care Consortium. 12 medical schools across Texas, including UT Health in San Antonio, are part of that group. It has 5 initiatives, the biggest being TCHAT. That's Texas Child Health Access through telemedicine.
So it's a partnership with schools. The schools sign up. Then counselors can offer the service to children and adolescents in those schools. So they talk to the parents. If the parents consent, then they're referred to us, and we provide whatever mental health services are needed.
And there's no cost to a family. Dr. Stephen Plitzka, a psychiatrist with UT Health, says the reason students would be referred to this program can vary, from being stressed to dealing with severe cases of depression and anxiety.
We've been seeing increases over the last decade, really, but they have become more pronounced. So we're seeing, 600 visits a month.
The other initiatives within the consortium include the Child Psychiatry Access Network, a hotline for primary care doctors to get advice on how to help a patient. There are also initiatives aimed at research to improve mental health care for kids, increasing the number of child psychiatrists in Texas, and treating patients through a partnership with the Center for Healthcare Services.
Families that just didn't know how to go to the mental health system, now the school can just hand them a phone number that they can, or we'll call them even, so that it reduces the barriers that people had to jump over.
But it's not just medical professionals trying to increase mental health awareness. House Bills 18 and 19 increase training for educators to help identify mental health needs in students, and requires each region in the state to have one mental health professional who is not a doctor. Their goal is to educate school staff on mental health and substance abuse and ways for students to get help. Then, just last week,
I created a new position of the Chief School Safety Officer in the Texas Education Agency.
Governor Greg Abbott says that officer will work to make sure schools meet the requirements. During that same press conference in North Texas, he also touched on those school safety laws passed in 2019, saying this.
We can see from what happened in Uvalde that in fact those laws either did not have teeth or they were not fully complied with.
So there is work to be done and help is needed. Dr. Pliska told us that UT Health needs more mental health professionals for students, and they are hiring. So if you're interested, we have contact information on our website. Scan this QR code. It will take you to the KSAT Explains webpage. That's where you can find that info and this story, along with all the other topics we have covered so far. Look for a new Explains next Monday at 6:30. We'll be right back. Around America now, Rudy Giuliani wants to postpone his testimony before a Georgia grand jury investigating his possible interference in the 2020 election. His attorney says that Giuliani has health concerns that would make flying a risk. The former New York mayor had heart stent surgery last month. Giuliani offered to give his testimony virtually, but that was rejected. The motion to postpone was submitted Monday. Giuliani's attorneys say that they wanted a doctor to reevaluate his health status in 4 weeks.
It's happened again. Travelers faced with canceled flights over the weekend, and now they're going to have to deal with thousands of delayed flights. According to FlightAware, between Saturday and Sunday, there were more than 1,600 cancellations, about 15,000 delays. In many cases, weather to blame with heavy rain and flash flooding. Travelers will continue to feel the effects of airline staffing shortages and air traffic control delays in the weeks and months to come.
We've got some different weather to talk about here. Look at those big clouds. They have actually given us some rain, which it looks like we can still see.
Yeah, still raining out there. Love it.
Yeah, in a few locations. A lot of it has come to an end, but there's still a few showers, one off in the distance there, off on the northwest side of Bexar County and San Antonio. But for the most part, the rain has come to an end locally. 83 degrees officially at the airport. By 8 o'clock, well, actually temperatures will be fluctuating all over the place because we have some rain-cooled air here and otherwise elsewhere where temperatures are still in the 90s to near 100. So wide-ranging temperatures. If you had the rain-cooled air, you're mostly in the 80s right now. Still a few showers to talk about. We'll take a close look at those, how much rain has fallen and when better rain chances are on the way coming up.
You're thinking about getting a new job? Maybe you should sleep on it. Literally, a mattress brand now hiring Casper sleepers, which means you could snooze for a living.
Job requirements include sleeping in company stores and in other random locations. There is a catch, though, of course. You'll be responsible for creating social media content to show people what it's like to be a professional sleeper. The company is taking applications through Thursday. Showing off some sleep skills on TikTok, apparently, is highly encouraged.
Maybe just a cat nap. They are independent, mysterious, and lovable. Cats get their moment to shine with International Cat Day today. Owning a cat or any pet in general has shown lower stress levels in people and giving owners a sense of comfort.
There's also the entertainment factor, that feline show off. From the first historical human record of cats in ancient Egyptian culture to now, cats have entrenched themselves in modern society. So, how will your cat celebrate its International Day? Likely a cat nap may be involved.
We're just stringing both of these buzz stories together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your puns are the glue holding this segment together.
As always. All right, let's check out weather right now. Adam Caskey, some nice rain out there.
Yeah, some good downpours in a few locations, but I do think better rainfall days ahead. A few showers out there today. Yeah, better rain chances Thursday and Friday, where I think we'll have just better coverage of the rain and some heavier downpours. Several days under 100 over the next 7 days. Now, you take a look at this time lapse here, and you see the clouds starting earlier this afternoon. That started around 4 p.m., and then the clouds build up even higher, and then boom, you start to see some rain, especially on the left side of the screen move in, and the rain over the camera. This is what we like to see, and this is, of course, what we need to see as well. And now most of it has cleared on out. But looking at the radar screen at the moment, a few outflow boundaries came together nicely here, just west of Luling, kind of near Kingsbury, and just north of Kingsbury. And this is northeast of Seguin, north of I-10, to give you an idea here in Guadalupe County. But these boundaries came together, helped generate these downpours. Just east of Geronimo, I'd be surprised if a lot of it really makes it through Geronimo. New Braunfels, east side of town especially, and along I-35 had a quick downpour. This is just a 1 hour loop, and you see how quickly these showers popped up, came and went. Very quick splash and dash is what it is, and now it's all on the far northwest side of Bexar County and San Antonio. You get around to Helotes, UTSA, it's all come to an end. Still wet roadways around 1604. You get UTSA down toward Brandeis High School and Bandera Road, but just a lingering downpour left near Helotes. That's all we have to speak of there. And this is not going to last all that much longer, and by 8 o'clock, I suspect everything on the radar screen to have come to an end. And farther to the east of town, Smiley, got a quick little downpour, but as this one headed toward Nixon, it started to fall apart. So Smiley getting in on some of that rain, but Nixon not really getting hit by much of it at all. Just so close and within reach. I know how that is. You see it off in the distance, you hear it, and you can even smell it, but then it doesn't hit you. That's the nature of these showers and storms that we have. And there still are some lingering areas of rain closer to Crystal City and Carrizo Springs and Cotulla, but not a whole lot left over there. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I want to show you again actual rainfall accumulations. Everywhere you see a color on this map, the blues and greens, that indicates where we've had rainfall. And especially once you get into the greens, that's about a ½ inch to an inch of rain. And there were some pockets of that, especially near Kirby and near Seguin Road on the east side of town. That's where we have those little areas of green. We talked about that earlier. So I want to go to a new location. This is on I-10, right on I-10 near UTSA. We're talking UTSA Boulevard. And boom, look at this, a radar estimate of about a ½ inch or more, about ½ inch of rain estimated there along I-10. So here's the big picture, and we have the upper level high, the big blue H, far to the northwest of us, and a few disturbances embedded with the flow. The door is open for disturbances to move in, and it looks like we'll have just that, particularly by Thursday and Friday. They're still over Arkansas and basically the panhandle of Florida, but they're going to move our way. And tomorrow, it's going to be more of the same. About a 10% chance, very limited coverage. Futurecast showing that here. A few hit or miss downpours popping up tomorrow afternoon, especially between about 4 p.m. and 7 p.m., particularly east of San Antonio between I-10 and I-37, the usually favored locations in these weather patterns and this time of year overall. 83 right now at the airport, dew points at 69. You look across the state, 95 Midland, 101 Abilene and Dallas, Del Rio officially at 100 degrees. You can see where we've had some rain cooled air, 84 in New Braunfels. I mentioned 83 in San Antonio, but all the way up to 100 currently in Hondo. Tomorrow morning, we'll start the day in the mid and upper 70s. By the afternoon, we make it up to 99 degrees for the high temperature and just a few locations hitting 100. Best rain chances 30% Thursday and Friday. That's what we're focusing on for the time being.
Yeah, promising to see that. Thank you, Adam.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
It is Monday, August 8th.
After nearly 24 hours, though, of being shut down, I-10 at Greytown Road is back open. It was shut down yesterday evening when an 18-wheeler carrying flammable liquid crashed and flipped onto its side, shutting down lanes in both directions.
Yeah, as Ursula said, right now all those lanes are back open, finally. But this is what the backup looked like while the lanes were being blocked by the cleanup. Again, they are all open at this hour except for the eastbound access road between File Road and FM 1518.
Also overnight, a man in a wheelchair was hit in the middle of the street. It happened just before 3 this morning at Monte Vista and Navidad. Police tell us the driver will not be facing any charges, and the man was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
A homicide investigation is now underway after a man was found dead in an East Side apartment. This happening at a complex on Gabriel Street that's near North New Braunfels. We're still working to learn the 18-year-old man's name. SAPD tells us that they were called to the apartment complex around 1 in the morning for a report of a cutting. Instead, investigators found the man had been shot and he died at the scene. At last check, no one has been arrested.
So if you think your homemade tacos are winners, here's your chance to turn them into a business. A company called Siete Foods is giving $40,000 away to help Latinos open or expand their own businesses. The money is available for taco trucks, taco stands, Mexican restaurants, or taquerias anywhere in the U.S. Details about how to apply for the contest are on our sietefoods.com website.
Lingering shower around New Braunfels and not much left, mostly up toward Green and then a little bit closer to Geronimo and Kingsbury. That's moving to the west, but unlikely to really make it into New Braunfels. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. 7 a.m., 78 degrees, noon tomorrow up to 90, a high temperature of 99. I think better rainfall coverage by Thursday and Friday.